H0RRIBLE William proves that Harry will forever just be a coward looking for ways to hide his bad nature. Hello and a very warm welcome to LVT News. Harry talked about in his memoir how alarmed he was over his brother's baldness and that his resemblance to their late mother, Diana, Princess of Wales, is fading thanks to his lack of hair, and this is coming from the same man who has spent about $50,000 on hair plugs, which is hair taken from other places on the scalp. Harry is now missing a big chunk of hair above his ears, and then they implant those little hairs onto the bald patches. So I guess Harry figures they can just Photoshop in more hair for him and nobody's going to know except Harry. You know what, we know what's up, and Harry believed that it was Prince William's hair that made him look like Diana. Seriously. How stupid can he be? Just take a look at William. I mean, you can tell Prince William looks exactly like their late mother. It's not just the hair. He also owns his bombs. He has a gorgeous face and a gorgeous body, which is exactly why Meghan looks at him so longingly. Harry's own wife believes that his brother is a lot better looking than Harry is, and this is an issue for him. Of course, I want to feel sorry for him, but his total disdain for his brother, Harry's own baldness, as well as his attempts to Photoshop more hair on his head, along with his clear lack of confidence over being volatility challenged, is pretty hilarious. Harry is being laughed at over the $50,000, failing to make him look sexy because I guess he's in some kind of bizarre contest with his older brother. Prince William is gonna win this when those hands down. I also suspect that he is using that fake spray and hair stuff on his bald scalp. You can tell because the hair looks so weird and crispy, and also the skin has a little bit of an orange tint to match the ginger. Harry also photoshops certain photos, or his publishers do it, like in the photo of him on his book. His eyes were made to appear bigger because he does have some very beady eyes, and they try to suddenly improve his looks or lack of looks, if we're being honest. I am so tired of seeing that unattractive, ugly face of Harry showing up everywhere. He is just unattractive, and that's without even knowing that he's dumb's a bag of rocks that has zero sex appeal, and the same can be said for that very average-looking wife of his whose only real achievement in life is being able to walk around on those two toothpicks. Harry's lifestyle also makes him look all the more repulsive because he is just filled with spite, with anger, with paranoia and hatred. Harry doesn't understand how immaturity and living behind a drug haze is really not attractive to most women, unless of course they're cut of the same cloth. Harry's recession with his late mother is also very disturbing. It's becoming obvious that his love for his brother depended on William's resemblance to their late mother. Harry does not look a thing like Diana or William. Now ginger is really not that attractive. I'm sorry, some gingers can be really hard, but Harry's not. I mean, his hair is all wiry and it always looks so disheveled, and then we've got those beady eyes that are way too close together. He disgusts me, and Harry believes he has such a sexy wife, but he's mistaken. I mean, Meghan Markle is not beautiful. She just looks fake. Everything looks bad on her, and she's such a horrible human being. So that's probably what we're. It's also funny to me that apparently some women do believe that Harry is hot if he were not a prince. Nobody would care about him. I mean, he's got those beady eyes and he always has that scowl on his face. Who with any sense would actually want that? But I don't think there are that many people actually who believe Harry is so handsome. Now, when he was 18, he was kind of cute. But he was never like William, my teenage granddaughter and her friends. They saw a picture of Harry and oh, they just started laughing at him and making some really ugly jokes. I've never even discussed Harry with her. So it was all on her own, her and her friends. Of course, who came up with that? I can add also that Harry's mental deficits are a lot more limiting than they need to be, because Harry cannot accept constructive criticism. He never takes responsibility. He is never going to make amends to people. He has heard he does not have a high tolerance for failure, so he doesn't want to try new things, and he also does not have a realistic understanding of his strengths and weaknesses. And I understand maybe this is hypocritical coming from somebody my age, somebody who is starting to suffer from my own mental deficits. But anyway, at least I own up to it, and actually I have learned as much from this experience of growing older as I did throughout my graduate studies. From the photos I have seen, it looks to me like Harry's wasting his money. There is way too much space between each hair plug. He still looks bald. I mean, looking at him, I just feel disgusted. It doesn't really matter what Harry does. He can pay thousands of dollars on his hair plugs. He is never going to be his brother. William looks exactly like their late mother. I mean, they could be twins. Jealousy doesn't look good on anybody, and Harry is no exception. You know, Harry, nobody really cares what you're doing. Most of us just can't stand the sight of you or your horrible wife. One thing is true, though, William does look exactly like their late mother. He's got the same heart too. He's kind, he's generous. He's loving, he cares about family, but Harry does not look anything like his mother on the outside or on the inside. Honestly, he doesn't look like his father either. Harry is, I guess, one of a kind in that way. He's so spiteful. He's hateful. He's jealous, and he was never like that, or at least we never knew of him being like that until Meghan came along. Harry also doesn't need to worry about William stealing Meghan. I mean, come on, if Prince William wanted Meghan, it wouldn't be very difficult for him to get Meghan. But why in the world would he want to eat that cheap hamburger at the trash can when he's got the layman on at home? I saw a clip of Meghan being interviewed at some type of event. I don't know what it was, but anyway, they asked her about William. Oh, she talked about how she loves him, but then they asked her about Harry and she didn't really answer the question. She just kind of laughed. It's out there somewhere if you want to dig around and find it. There is no way that Meghan would have considered Harry if it were not for those titles and what she could get from him. And we know that soon enough she's going to get sick of him and she's going to walk out to find herself the next wealthy man who's willing to put up with her, but by then it's going to be too late for Harry because the damage to him will have already been done and to his family too. It's just too late. How could a grandson of the late Queen treat his own grandparents the way that Harry did? There's no way he can come back from that. Harry's comment about William's hair is also just pathetic. It is the kind of comment a little brother might make about his older brother just in fun, just for some banter, but Harry did not mean it that way. He seemed like he really wanted to hurt William's feelings, to ridicule him, to seem better than him. I think it's also very disturbing that an adult man with so much money and privilege needs to make a public comment trying to ridicule his own brother. We can all see that William's losing his hair, but the truth is none of us care. He doesn't try to hide it. All that Harry's comment really shows is that Harry is jealous and incredibly petty. And the way that Harry talked about his brother and his father is just appalling. All they ever did was care for Harry and love him and want the best for him. And if it wasn't for the palace sweeping all his misdeeds under the rug, well, I think everybody would have already seen what he really is, which is a clown. The differences between Harry and William are too many to list. But the one that is most obvious is that William is a happy person. Harry's not. William chose his wife very wisely, and Harry chose the worst wife he could possibly have chosen. The eyes, the smiles, his mannerism. They are all exactly like Diana's. It doesn't matter whether he's got hair or not. We cannot mistake who William comes from. And one of the biggest reasons that Harry is so envious of his brother is because he looks like Diana, along with the fact that Harry was born a spare. Soon enough, Harry's going to look like a gender pencil with a pink eraser on top. I mean, I wonder too. Did he start wearing his shoes to try to distract all of us? I thought he looked a little bit like it stuck a ginger Brillo pad on top of his head. And do you agree with me? If yes, please I can share my video with anybody else who needs it. If not, please tell me your opinion below in the comments section if you think my videos are interesting. Don't forget to like and share them, and besides that, please click the subscribe button below to get more updates from LVT News Team. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll be back to see you